Hey there, welcome to my page. My name is Ernie Delgado. Have you ever wondered why your electric bill is so high and getting higher every few months? Well, let me shed a few secrets on why this is happening. Let's take a look at this particular Southern California Edison bill. This is actually from January 2022. I've redacted the names and account numbers to protect the innocent, but I think you'll get the point of my message here. So this particular person, let's call him Bill. He paid $190.09 in electricity for the month of January. He paid $155 the month before. Let's try to understand his usage. Now, first of all, I think it's important to understand that Edison and San Diego Gas and Electric, most power companies are going to a new way to charge you, and it's called time of use, TOU. Now, what time of use means is between 4 and 9 o'clock in the afternoon, or 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 in the evening, you are paying the highest rate. Now, what's interesting is they did a lot of analysis on your habits as consumers, and they found that between 4 and 9 is when you use the most electricity, and they chose to charge you the most during that time. Little counterintuitive, at least from a consumer standpoint, but at least now you know what's going on here. If you look at your bill, it's going to give you a chart, and it's going to say something called mid peak. What that should say is this is the highest rates of the day, and it's between 4 and 9 p.m. So, what I would recommend you do is lower your usage between 4 and 9, meaning your pool pumps, turn them off between 4 and 9. Your electric cars, don't charge them between 4 and 9. I understand you plug it in, but maybe put it on a timer so that it kicks in at 9:01 at night and goes through the evening. Your cooking, your laundry, anything that consumes electricity, minimize it between 4 and 9. Lights on around the house. Yes, be that person. Tell your family to turn off the lights. You don't own the electric company. Obviously, let's get our power usage down by just being smart about it, and especially between 4 and 9. Now, the super off peak means this is the cheapest power you're going to get, and it's between 8 in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's when, most of us are at work between that time, but many people work from home. That's when you should really do stuff the most. Have your pool pump go on between that. Maybe set up your laundry in the morning before you leave and put it on. Maybe you use a slow cooker during the day to cook your meals between 8 and 4. Try to pack as much of your usage between 8 and 4. Now, there's something called off peak, which is somewhere in the middle. That's your secondary time frame to use power between noon and 8 a.m. I'm sorry, between midnight and 8 a.m. and between 9 at night and midnight, when most of us are usually sleeping. But this is when that you should use your power. Just be aware. Look at your bill. Your time frames might be off a little bit, but at least understand how to calculate that number. The next thing you should be aware of is your usage. So if you look here, that mid peak, which really is the most expensive power, I don't know why they call it mid peak. In this particular bill, they're paying 41 cents per kilowatt hour. That's a lot. The cheapest power, that super off peak, is at 28 cents. Now, these numbers have gone way up since a year ago. A year ago, they were about 20 to 30% less. So be aware that we really don't have any control over the rates that the electric company charges. You pay whatever they charge you. There's no really going around that. There is one option, and I'll get to that at the end of the presentation. So in this particular instance, this person used 661 kilowatts per hour in this month, and they were charged $217. Now, I'm not going to include this $27 credit because credits come and go. They're not every month. There's like 2 a year that you might or might not get them. So I'm not going to include that for this calculation because I want to get a true cost. So this person here paid $217 for their power. So let me drop that in my calculator. $217 and how many cents? And 14 cents. And then let's divide that by 661 kilowatts. They paid roughly 33 cents a kilowatt hour. Now, 33 cents is high. You could do better. And I'll tell you how in a moment. But wait till you hear this next part. This really gets crazy. So let's keep on looking at usage. Now, there's a meter number. If you just want to confirm that you're paying the right bill, that meter number that I redacted here, you can actually look on your meter outside. The numbers should match. And then this chart here, it's pretty fascinating. This is your usage for the year. Now, obviously, if you just moved in or a few months ago, you're not going to have all this data. This is for someone who's been in the house at least a year. That's usually when you can get the best snapshot of usage, really accurate. But let's understand how this works. So there's two numbers you should be aware of. The first number is your total electricity used this month was 661 kilowatts. We've already seen that number above. And that number is represented by this black bar here, January 2022. So in January 2022, this person used 661 kilowatts. Now there's two other numbers in here. First of all, this year, this 20.66 is the daily average. The daily average. So these numbers are the same but different. You need to calculate them differently. So if I really want to understand this 21.66, I should multiply it by the number of days in January, which happens to be 31. So if I go, 21 times 31, that's about 660 kilowatts. So that's how you would get the total for the month. Now notice that the months go up and down. I also have 26.4 from last January. That's what this black bar represents. You can see this last January, this person used more power than this January. So why is that? What happened last year versus this year? Did they have more roommates? Did they have an extra electric car? Did they leave their lights on more than they should have? Did they do more laundry than average? I don't know, but it's something to think about. If you look at February 21, it looks like they used about, and again, here's this chart on the side from 0 to 39. That top level, that 39, corresponds to the largest month, which happens to be August. So there's another firm number we could plug in, and that's 39 average per day in August of 2021. So going back, February looks like about, 22. March looks like about what, 13-ish, that lowest number, maybe a little more. April looks like around 15. May looks like around 11. June looks like about 15. July, closer to August, July looks like around 32. Then we had 39, 28, 21. November was the lowest at 9, and then December at 15, and then at January, I just rounded it up to 21. So that's how you would know how much you used over the year. So if I took those numbers and I multiplied it times the number of days in the month. Now here's another I don't know why they make it so confusing. I'm trying to unwind this to make it more understandable. But do you know the finger rule? How many days are in the month? January has 31. That's a big knuckle. February has 28. That's the only month in the year that has less than 30. March is 31. January, February, March. April 30. May 31. June 30. July 31. Back to August 31. September 30. October 31. November 30. December 31, the knuckle roll. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It's kind of cool how your numbers help you remember the numbers of days in the month. So take the number of days times what we calculated. This person is using about 6,547 kilowatts of power per year. It's a good number to know. And he's paying about 33 cents a kilowatt. So that's kind of his annual bill. Let's get down to this next part. Now, you could study this usage, but let me show you what's really going on. This is the aha moment. If there was a drum roll available, I would do that right now, because this is the reason why I want you to watch this video. You are paying for something that you shouldn't be paying for. Now, let's take a step back and understand the why of the matter. In California, we consume way more power than we produce. We're shutting down all of our nuclear power plants. We're having to deal with this really inefficient grid system that causes pollution, that causes dry conditions, that causes wildfires, that's burning down communities. It's terrible. So what's happening right now is that our utilities are having to import power from other states. Now, who do you think pays for that? I'm waiting. I think you know. We pay for that. Look at the bill. So on your bill, you'll have something called delivery charges. So this person paid $14 for transmission, $89 for distribution. They got a little 24-cent credit there. They paid $13 for some public purpose program. They paid $8.38 for some new system generation, a $15 power indifference adjustment, and a $1.76 franchise fee. What the heck is that? I think that adds up to $141 in fees, in transmission charges to get the power to your house. Then you're actually paying for the power you use. This person only used $75.99 worth of power, but their bill was $217. $141 went to transmission charges. This is ridiculous. There's a better way, people. There's a much more efficient way. I think you know where I'm headed with this. And if you don't, keep listening, because this is the message I'm trying to get clear in people's minds. So $190 divided by 661, we know this guy's paying 33 cents a kilowatt hour. All right. So that's kind of how you read a bill. I'm going to show you another bill. This is another client of mine. This is in Rancho Mirage. And this person's bills are ridiculous. Very, very high. But let's do the same math. Let's do the same math with this person, and let's see what's going on here. This person is paid $2,300 last month for their bill. This is a huge home. It's in the desert. It's a vacation home. It's a gorgeous home. A lot of lighting, a lot of pool pumping, a lot of air conditioning. All of these things come into play. If you live in the desert, you know you pay a lot. But there's also something really great in the desert. That's lots of sun hours. So if you look at this person's rates, again, they used 5,910 the month of December. This is 2021. And they also did, which is about 191 kilowatts on average per day. And then they did 180 kilowatts on average per day last December. So they went up a little bit, but you can look, their usage is a little more steady. Now, I studied this one a little more, and what I noticed is they have a beautiful home and they light it up all night long. That is really where a bulk of their power is going, is just this beautiful lighting system. And secondly, they have a beautiful pool, and their pool pump is on many hours of the day, and obviously it's during those peak hours. Now, this one was calculated a little different because they were actually on a different rate plan, and it was the tier system, which was pretty bad. It's not as bad as time of use, but you could see they were paying as high as 31 cents a kilowatt hour. And if you go over a certain number, just look at most of their usage was over 400% of what the baseline is for that area. So they were just getting hammered left and right on their power bill. And let's look at their delivery charges. $118 for transmission, $775 for distribution, A small credit. 625 is a conservation incentive adjustment. 118 for programs, 75 for generation charges, and then another $17.80 for franchise fees. Uh, those are some significant fees. Now, why do I bring all this up? Well, because there's a better way, and it's called photovoltaic solar systems on your roof. And what a lot of people don't understand, when you're paying these transmission charges, there's a way to get rid of these charges. And that's, instead of importing power, you produce it on your roof. So I would like you to consider another way of creating power. And instead of using the old grid system, which causes pollution, which causes dry conditions, which has been known to cause wildfires and devastating entire communities, let's be kind to the environment. Let's be kind to our pocketbook. Let's lower our bills. When you go to solar, these numbers will drop by 30 to 50%. Instead of paying 33 cents per kilowatt hour, you should be able to get somewhere in the 27-cent range. And have a significant reduction in your bill. So I hope you've learned a little bit about how to read your bill. If you want me to help you read your bill, reach out to me, direct message me, email me, text me, and let's figure this out for you. Let's see how we can make a dent in your electric bill to offset all that increased money you're paying for your gasoline, which is ridiculous. That's a whole nother video. But we can bring your electric bill down. Okay, thanks for your time. Sorry this went so long. This is a really important topic. Let's get smart about using power, and let's reduce our bill. Let's think about the environment at the same time. All right, reach out to me. Talk to you soon.